So, hello guys, in today's video I share with you my top 5 lessons from Cost of Glory and how to take over the world.
Wir nähern uns dem Ziel. Wir müssen rein und ihre Daten nach Infos durchsuchen.
2 podcasts I follow now for years. And I listened to my favorite episodes a dozen times. So let's get right into it, while we play a bit Ghost Recon Wildlands. Lesson 1. Just ask people to give you what you want. Like Steve Jobs did. I know that sounds simple, but hear me out. When he was younger, he needed a part for a project. He couldn't find it anywhere, so he just called the CEO of Hewlett-Packard, the company who manufactured it. He was obviously a very busy man with no time for this, but Steve baffled him with his audacity and made him send him the part for free. So yes, with the first insight, you can make CEOs do what you want, even if you are just a schoolboy. Think about this next time when you see a cute girl and think, she is out of my league. Other guys might think the same. And if you are the only one who approaches her, you have no competition. Most people don't do stuff like this because they think it's inappropriate. They might be right, but who gives a shit? You are here to conquer. Most people don't expect this, and you are out of the door with whatever you want before they even realize what happened. Lesson 2. Whenever you wonder if something can be done, do the math. Like Lucullus. When Lucullus sieged his first city, he wasn't sure if he should risk attacking or just starve them out. But he had a bunch of enemy soldiers captured, so he had them brought before him and asked them a few questions. How much do you eat every day? How much food is left in your tent? With how many men do you share this tent? How many tents there are? Is there probably any central food storage? And how many of you are in the city? With all of this information, he was able to piece together how long they are able to hold out. And he concluded that he could just starve them out without risking a battle. Not long ago, a friend asked me about a business endeavor. He wasn't sure, and I told him what I learned from Lucullus. Do the math. If you wonder if something can be done, just do the math. Lesson 3. Do the long game, as long as you can afford it. This might be the most powerful lesson, with the most famous people who used it. Like Sulla in his early days. Do favors, don't ask for anything back, let your good reputation and the army of people who owe you pile up. There is a high chance that you are not in charge right now, and that you will not be for a long time. These things take time. Prove yourself loyal, do your current tasks in the best way possible. Marius did the same in his youth. He worked hard, delivered exceptional results, and formed himself into the commander he wanted to be. This way, he found himself one night at the dining table of Scipio Africanus. And when one general asked Scipio, "Oh Scipio, who will protect Rome when you are not around anymore?" Scipio laid his hand on Marius' shoulder and said, "I don't know, this one perhaps." Only Marius knows if this story is true, and he won't tell. But he made himself into a man who could believe such a story from and about. Same with Putin and how to take over the world. He kept his head down, studied law, became a company man at the KGB and later the FSB. Therefore, when opportunity arrived to work for the mayor of St. Petersburg and later for Yeltsin, he was there with all the knowledge and the connections you could have. Lesson 4. Put yourself in real danger. We stick for a moment with Ben Wilson's Putin episode. He had his first shimmer of greatness when the Berlin Wall fell. No matter what we think about this man today, I think this is a first sign of greatness. I want to share the whole story with you real quick. Let me know in the comments what lessons you can draw from this story. In 1989, when the Berlin Wall came down, there were mass protests all over East Germany. But, important for our story, they were in Dresden. The headquarters of the Stasi, the East German intelligence agency, were seized, and the protesters prevented the classified documents from destruction. Today, these documents are some way open to the public. You can get access to everything related to you if you lived during this time period. But that's not the point. The KGB officers would be next, and Putin, as the guy in charge, would be responsible. And his career therefore over. He had to act. He couldn't let this happen. So he stepped out of the building in front of the crowd and explained quietly that the building is heavily guarded and that the soldiers have orders to shoot everyone who tries to enter. None of this was true, but it worked. Please listen to Ben Wilson's podcast for the full story with more context. Sulla did quite the same in his year as Questor, when he was on his most important mission that could end the war immediately, but was probably given to him so he would fail and die. He had to convince the king of Mauritania to betray and hand over his brother Jugurtha. There was quite a high chance that the king would do the inverse and hand him over to Jugurtha, and there were multiple occasions where it looked like he was betrayed and about to be killed, but still could have abandoned the mission. But he didn't. The gamble turned out well. So well, in fact, that Sulla had himself this ring crafted to commemorate it. This scene shows how Jugurtha is handed over to Sulla by the king of Mauritania. This is not the ring, but a coin that Sulla in his later years, or one of his sons, when he commissioned, when they came into office. And I think that it's safe to assume that it quite looked the same. So yes, put yourself in real danger. That's lesson number 4. Lesson number 5. Know when to stop. Marius could have been a respectable Roman without having to flee his country, without causing the first civil war and the death of his son, and without the confiscation of his family wealth. But he had to push too far. I'm not sure which year we have when you watch this, but I assume that there is someone famous in the news. A politician, a pop star, worked his way up or born rich, doesn't matter. But at one point he got bored by everything money could buy, and he started to explore darker desires. And it cost him everything. Am I right? For you, it might not be a place among the Roman elites, but don't ruin what you have by being reckless. Lesson number 5. Before I give you this last insight, I want to make clear that this is not a political channel, and this video is only about what you can draw from these biographies and this podcast to improve yourself. Yep, Putin again. In part 2 of his Putin series, Ben Wilson explains that he thinks it's more than likely that the bombings of the Russian apartment buildings during the Chechen war were false flag to justify the war. I think we can all agree that this would be more than enough to cause existential dread in anyone to realize that your own government could and would do something like this to you, and that's the exact reason why it never became an issue. People don't want to believe it, so they don't believe it. But be careful, this law can easily bite you. Whenever someone spreads lies about you, and they fit just a bit too well with your already damaged reputation, most people will believe it. Speaking of reputation, that's it for today. Please check out these 2 podcasts that really changed my life, that made me start YouTube in the first place. And please subscribe to my channel. It's a fairly new channel. I'm working on my 5 subscriber special. I'm still trying things out, seeing what sticks. And if you join now, you can help me to decide in which direction to take it from here. Please be part of the process. Be part of the family. Like and subscribe. That's it for today.